Kissimmee, Florida, home of the vacation capital of the world. And today, my second chance at a Clarion. This is the Clarion Inn and Suites, Kissimmee, Lake Buena Vista South. Located right here on 4985 West Earl Bronson Memorial Highway. The last Clarion I visited was an absolute nightmare. That's why I've come to a place with history. This property was built in 1983, the same year as the launch of the original cellular phone. This is more than just a hotel, it's a mission. Can a vintage 1983 property with a Spanish flair and a 3-star rating overcome the trauma of its international drive cousin? I'm here to find out if this South Kissimmee location can redeem the entire Clarion brand. The investigation starts now. I am back at the Clarion Inn, but this time in Kissimmee, so let's see if it gives us a different result. I highly doubt it based on the reviews, but we'll wait to reserve judgment until I get into this room. Room 234. Clarion Inn. Oh, how did I miss you so much. Nice dark room, very warm room. Sounds like the AC's not even working. I can already tell you this is going to be a great video. Are these lights working? I mean, first of all, look at this door. Look at that huge gap right there. Looks like there's a switch right here, but it's not turning on. So I'm going to have to wander around this dark room and hope I find my way. Let's try to find a light around here. I'm going to have to turn my phone light on. Okay, here we are. This is the Clarion Inn with my phone light. Here we go. The reason I was struggling is the fact that there was a switch right here, but as you can clearly see, I don't even think it works at all. Doesn't look like it clicks onto anything. Very loose switch. And here we are, our dear old friend, the Clarion Inn, Lake Buena Vista, Kissimmee location. How much did I miss you so much? It appears it's going to be another brutal video that I'm going to have to try to get through. It's going to be very interesting seeing all the different details I'm already seeing in this place. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. So after doing my first review of the Clarion Inn off International Drive, I've really wanted to come to this one and do a side-by-side comparison. This hotel in particular has been on my radar for quite a while, but I just wanted to do a couple other hotels first, do some other reviews, and eventually come around to this one. And here I am, finally, I'm able to do a comparison to the Clarion Inn on International Drive, which we all know did not fare very well. Now this one, based on a lot of reviews, I do not expect much better. At a 3-star rating, I did see a lot of complaints about the mold, the dirtiness, the filth, maybe some bugs, but I'm in room 232 and I'm here to go ahead and check it out myself to see if this, at a budget price of just under $65 on a Saturday night, is even worth it. It's actually in a location that's kind of desirable, so maybe not. We'll see. But let's go ahead and start the review. I'm going to go ahead and tackle the obvious, and this is an element that you cannot feel through watching a YouTube video, and I'm talking about the temperature of this room. It's very warm in here, and partly due to the reason that the AC is blowing barely cool air. I mean, it is barely cool. Not enough to cool this room at all. And the second part of it, I believe, most of the air that is actually cooling, the very little cool air that is blowing up this curtain. I mean, it's going right up into this curtain, and I've tried pushing this curtain back several times. It just hangs out so far that, I mean, the air literally just blows right into it and just leaves it like a parachute. So, I mean, you're not really getting any air that's blowing over into the bed. It's you feel no airflow into the room at all unless you pull this curtain back. And if you do pull this curtain back, you are compromising your privacy. So that is a problem. This seems like something so simple here, but it's a big issue, especially with an AC that's barely working. Now I'm gonna go ahead and check the temperature. It is set at 73 degrees. It's definitely not 73 degrees. I can tell you that already, just feeling it from just holding my hand right next to the vent. Let's go ahead and check these AC filters. They are really clean. So I'm surprised this AC unit is not working properly. It's not functioning properly at all. I'm gonna try to bring down the temperature to see if that does the trick. So we'll go ahead and drop it down to 65 degrees, and I will give you an answer in about 10 minutes to see if it has blown any cooler air than what it is now. Let's carry on to the rest of the room tour. We have this lonely little chair without a desk. The desk is actually located on the far side but here he is, just hanging out, chilling. Probably a good spot for a very, very suspicious, creepy person that wants to stare at somebody who's sleeping in this bed. I don't know, but this is the location of the chair, and also some very suspicious stains sitting at the bottom. Not something I want to sit in, no siree. And let's go ahead and check out our 15-year-old television. I'm talking about nice old school silver, flat screen, 5-inch thick LG TV. Let's go ahead and power this TV on and check out this 480i resolution. Oh, not even. Oh, wow, this would make the 1980s proud. Flip through some of these channels and see if it's anything improved. Not at all, not one bit. Oh yeah, no, this is worse than one of those tube TVs. Look at this. You get no channels either. Nothing. What? Is this connected antenna or something? No. The next thing I want to do before I carry on with this review is turn on all the lamps so I can have actual proper lighting in this room. The one thing I don't do is actually bring any extra lights because I want you to see these rooms in their raw appearance so you can actually expect what you see. So I do see another lamp over here and placed in a very, very odd position. They just throw a random lamp over here in the narrow corner between the bed and the wall. Like you already don't have enough room to walk in. Now you just have something else to trip over. So here we are, but it's not plugged in. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in, which I understand because if you do plug in the cord into this outlet, that just creates another tripping hazard. So I'm not gonna use this bed anyways. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. Now here we are, we have our lamp already turned on. I just had to plug in the cord. Let's go ahead and carry on to the rest of the room tour. Next thing I'm gonna focus on is going to be the nightstand. We do have a old school clock here. Look at this alarm clock. It's not even turned on, not plugged in. Who cares? Nobody uses those anymore anyways. And we do have a phone. It does work. Look at this unique looking lamp. Very modern, has this like geometrical shape to it. The nice black. It's actually pretty decent. Not very dirty at all. Okay, I'll give you a good grade for that. The cabinets are going to be matching, by the way. Well, no, they're not matching at all. It's just this one's a lot newer. They both have that dark wood element to it. You only have one drawer here on this one, but you do have some space underneath to put extra storage, maybe some carry-on bags, smaller bags perhaps. So that is going to be it. This is what you have. You do have a couple of outlets here, which is a plus. Love the outlets on the nightstand next to the beds. So very good job. Good job, guys. Good job. Clarion Inn. Once again, you have this ugly carpet. Absolutely gruesome. It makes me want to barf. I feel nauseated just by looking at it. But I do have to say, it does not look like it's in bad shape. Although the dark colors, the patterns may have a tendency to hide some of these stains that it does have, and I can guarantee you it probably has a lot of stains to it. I just visibly can't see it. The room does not smell bad at all. Last but not least, we do have a nicely set up coffee machine. This thing is massively tiny. Oxymoron, right? Massively tiny. So we do have our Joe on the go. Our authentic premium coffee right here. And you do have some sugar and some more sugar. No cream though. And you have your ice holder with a liner and some cups. You have everything you need to tackle Mickey Mouse, as long as you have Joe on the go. did recognize the need of additional outlets here, so they went ahead and added like 4 more with this little attachment. The table itself is actually pretty filthy. I'm gonna have to tell you that, be honest. And look at this wall. The wall, a white wall, you can see a lot of stains really showing themselves. They are not shy at all. So here is the verdict 10 minutes later, set at 65 degrees. Does it feel like it's working at 65 degrees? No, it does not. It's blowing a little bit colder, but it's definitely not 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, it dropped on us. It's probably confused. I can guarantee you it's definitely not 65 degrees Fahrenheit. So we are done with the room tour. Now we're going to move on to the bathroom. My general impression of this room just feels like a Clarion Inn. Almost feels exactly like the Clarion Inn on International Drive. Maybe perhaps slightly cleaner, which is not saying much. That's a low bar set for that property. It's better than being the worst. What do they say? If you're not last, you're... I don't know what they say. Behold the glorious bathroom of the Clarion Inn. Let's go ahead and turn on the light. Here is our light. Where can it be? What is this little square that's lighting up in front of me? That is... Whoa! Clarion! What are you... What is this? Stepping up your game, I see, huh? I think Big Brother needs to take a little bit of notes from this, huh? Yeah, he's gonna have to watch this video for sure. Let's go ahead and check out our sink. We have this amazing water faucet for our bathroom. Works really well. You can see the craftsmanship of this. Everything looks like it's pretty well done. They got the lines right, they got the angles right, unlike its Big Brother and International Drive. Let's go ahead and look underneath. You do have your hair dryer right here. And looking at the pipes, I see no openings. I see no makeshift quick fixes. Ah, Clarion, you are impressing me today. I do see a couple stains here though. GFI outlet, and this is actually where the hair dryer is supposed to be. Someone's being lazy. Right in front of me, I have this suspicious looking door here. Could this be a closet space? Very weird placement of a door though. Usually closet space that is nearby a bathroom vanity sink or anywhere near the bathroom, they typically don't put a door that close to it. Imagine someone standing here and trying to brush their teeth, do their hair, and you need to get into this closet space and you just go, you know what? Closet space is very spacious. And the tile, actually, you see the tile here. It looks like pretty new tile. It runs into the closet space. We're supposed to have an ironing board and an iron, but that is lacking. You have some hangers here. Well, they might not all be functioning, might not be all useful, but at least they have an attempt. Oh, and here's our bathroom. I gotta give credit where credit's due. This is miles better than the Clarion Inn on International Drive. They even like hang the shower curtain fancy on the door handle. Look at that. Here's our bath mat. You do have a couple of towels that are nicely arranged up on the towel rack. Here's some toilet papers. You got your little trash can. You even got a nicely designed backsplash. Some tiling on the wall here. The shower head doesn't even look too bad. Everything looks pretty decent. I really don't even see that much mildew or mold. What is it? What are you, Clarion? What is going on? Are you okay? Okay, this must be a joke. I think this gotta be some type of like, they're pulling a prank on me or something, because for a 3-star rating, this is not what I expected at all. This must be one of their cleaner rooms in the hotel, or I don't know. I can't really explain it. There's nothing to explain here. Surprisingly, so far, I wouldn't mind staying in this hotel for a cheap price, for a steep discount. Let's get that straight. And another thing I was very surprised to hear is that they actually do provide breakfast, something that the Clarion and International didn't provide at all. They didn't even have the space for it. Last but not least, it is our final test of the day, at least for the room, the mattress check. These beds look extremely worn out. they are sinking in. They are going in all kinds of direction. This one looks like you are going on a decline, an extreme decline. Let's go ahead and give you an example. Let me show you. Here, as you can look down, let me go ahead and just angle this down so you can see. It really does not show on camera that well, but this, it declines. It sinks in really bad here. This is an old mattress that they have not changed in a while. And there is a huge dip right here. If I can get my camera right, there we go. Yeah, right here you can actually see the curvature, some of the wrinkles in the comforter actually showing the indentation of this mattress. It does come with 3 properly arranged pillows. Let's go ahead and line these pillows up. One is kind of fluffy. You got these wrinkled sheets on them though. The covers are really wrinkled. They actually, none of them feel too bad. And to go ahead and reveal the sheets and reveal the mattress. Everything looks pretty decent. I do have to admit, the beds in the Clarion Inn, if I can recall, weren't horrible. Now, they're bad. Relatively speaking to some of the cheaper properties, they were actually on the higher end, if you know what I mean. They weren't part of the worst group of mattresses that I've seen in any of those cheaper properties. And here is our mattress protector. Oh, by the way, this is our headboard. It's a very just generic design. Practically just a slab of wood with like some lines in between to create some type of like, I don't know, depth to it. It really doesn't look bad at all. There is a small stain up here I'm gonna have to show you guys. Overall, even though it does look a little worn out, it does look like an older mattress. It looks like it needed to be changed about 15 years ago. It looks pretty clean, I have to admit, and give credit where credit is due for the Clarion Inn. I'm gonna give this mattress like maybe a D+, C-. It's a passing grade. Don't worry, it's a passing grade. Let's move on to the first bed nearest to the door. First off, let's start with the pillow test. I'll line you guys up, and look how wrinkled this is. And this is light as a feather. I can already tell you this is not going to give you good head support. Your head's going to sink right into. It's like laying on a piece of paper. Here's a couple of others. This one's flat. That's probably going to be like a D. And then here we are. This is also like a D-. These pillows are terrible. Horrible. It would probably give you just enough head support if you stack all 3 pillows on top of each other just like that. And let's pull these back. Let's pull the comforter back. Reveal the sheet. Sheet is pretty wrinkled, but it actually looks decent. And here's our mattress protector, and let's go ahead and see the mattress itself. And yet again, it is a very clean mattress, although it does feel very worn out. It does, you could see the usage, the curvature, it's out of shape, but at least it's clean. It's another springy mattress again. You're gonna get what you pay for. So that is going to complete my interior room of room 234 of the Clarion Inn in Kissimmee, Lake Buena Vista. Not bad. My overall impression is surprisingly positive. Maybe not all Clarions are bad. Clarion, you have hope. Choice Hotels, you actually provided something halfway decent. How about that? It's not that hard, is it? I'm not gonna spend the night here because this room is very warm. I feel like I'm already sweating, and I turned this AC unit down to 65 degrees, and I have to tell you, it does not feel under 80 degrees in this room, and that's a problem. Obviously, you want to feel comfortable in these rooms. They tend to be cooler just because of the large AC unit and the small scale of these hotel rooms, but that's not the case in this situation. So I'm gonna go ahead and head home, even though it is quite of a drive and it is very inconvenient to head home. I'd rather stay in a comfortable situation than be here. So we're gonna go ahead and fast forward through the night, and I will see you in the morning. Bye. Good morning, guys. I am back here at the Clarion Inn in Kissimmee. Unfortunately, on my way back from my house to here, I ran into a bit of an issue. My car ended up not wanting to work correctly. It wanted to work against me. It was telling me it did not want to come back to the Clarion Inn. So I was stuck in the middle of the road. And that cost me my delicious breakfast that I was going to have here. My exclusive breakfast, high-end breakfast. I was coming here to the Clarion Inn expecting some omelets made to order, some freshly squeezed orange juice, and some delicious triple stacked pancakes with some whipped cream and some sliced bananas and strawberries. Okay, maybe not that, but it was quite of a disappointment because I did want to really see if the Clarion Inn was going to continue to surprise me this morning like it did last night with this room. Now, I'm not saying this room is exclusive. I'm not saying this room is high-end or luxury at all. It's not really anything special. It was quite nice compared to what I experienced at the other Clarion Inn. Maybe next time. So let's go ahead and carry on to the exterior walk around, and I'll catch you on the outside. I'll catch you outside. You catch me outside.
Hey, stop.
Before we go outside, I do want to point a couple things out I noticed in this room during the daylight. I did not notice during the nighttime because we didn't have access to the exterior light coming in. But now that it's bright and it's early in the morning, I can show you a couple things. Let me go ahead and turn this around and show you the gap underneath this door that is leading to the exterior corridor. It is quite large. You can actually see the light seeping through the bottom there, and that tells me that there is not much of a sound barrier. I would imagine if somebody is going to be walking past your room on the exterior corridors, on the hallways, and they're quite loud, you're probably going to hear every word they're saying. To me, that's kind of a problem with these older hotels, with these exterior corridors, is you're going to get all that outdoor noise, and it seems like these doors are not sealed very properly for that. Now walking on the second floor, and I am on the second floor, we see the ice machine here. It looks like it's busted, exposed, and does not create any ice for us. Here is the perspective, Kings Heath Road. I think that's the pronunciation. There is an embassy, I think, and I don't know what that is. Another 3-story hotel. And could be a busy highway, not that busy. It doesn't seem like this morning. This is like every other corner. There is a stairwell that you can go up and down. I did not see any elevators yet. Got water dripping from the ceiling on my arm. We got splatters on the ground. Very inviting. Get this beautiful brickwork, this space that probably before was intended to be some type of picnic area. Maybe some seating arrangements, but now it's just a nice big open brick square. Another stairwell. And here is our pool deck. Kind of a small pool, but you do got a jacuzzi on this side. A little bit of privacy there with the wall. They do have a fitness center in here. It's quite small. They just have like an elliptical. I see a treadmill in there. And not anything that's gonna be, you're not going to be bulking up or anything, but it's nice actually to have a couple machines that you can kind of get your sweat in. Today's, you got the ice cream flavor and wines and spirits, which comes out to nothing on either. Looks like there used to be something over here. Maybe some type of concession stand or something for the pool area. Got an old ATM. It looks like this is a big freezer. The way these hallways are arranged, the buildings are so close together that it just like creates these long, narrow hallways in between each structure. And here is the opposite side of where I'm staying at. It actually appears to be a lot larger than it really is. When you're walking around, you don't see the other side, the way the buildings are arranged. And let's go ahead and walk around. This is the front ramp entrance. Clarion Inn by Choice Hotels, you know, my favorite brand. Let's go ahead and show you the area. I am actually quite intrigued. I really do think this is a great area for a hotel because within walking distance, you have a ton of options. Now, to give you a perspective, we're really nearby some of the other places I've stayed at. You have the Palazzo right over here, just right across from me. Down the street, you have the Red Lion. The problems with those hotels, and I feel like those were on the wrong side of the highway. This hotel is on the side of the highway where you do have a ton of options within walking distance. So I'm actually gonna go through and show you all the options you have within walking distance, starting with Taco Bell. That's not really, I'm gonna start on the lower end, then we're gonna work our way up. You know, so we're gonna start with Taco Bell. As you can see, you see Taco Bell all the way in the distance over there. Let me zoom in. You got Taco Bell. We got an old Pizza Hut building. I know for a fact this is not functioning because Pizza Huts don't operate as a sit-down restaurant anymore. But as we're here, while we're here, let's go ahead and look inside, take a peek of this Pizza Hut. Yeah, I mean, they still have everything. They have the benches, they have all the chairs. You still have the paper towels here. Wing Street, Pizza Hut. A lot of this is still, is this even fun? Is this still open? I mean, I'm still seeing the plates and the spoons and, you know, utensils are still inside there. So I'm wondering if this is actually still an operating Pizza Hut. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off the site and move on to the next restaurant. I just looked it up. This is actually a Pizza Hut that's still open and operating, which is absolutely amazing. I did not know they had these types of restaurants still around, that they still operate in this type of business structure. So pretty cool. I might need to go back for just nostalgic reasons and try it out myself. Here is a separate view of the front ramp to the Clarion in Kissimmee. Got a bus station there. Got some places to sit. Got some benches that probably not one person has even used yet. And we have a gift shop. So let's go ahead and carry on. I guess this tells us exactly what this used to be before. Parking for Howard Johnson Enchanted Land guest only. Oh my gosh, the remnants of Howard Johnson remains. Disney Gifts, one of the most generic named gift shops you could probably find here in Kissimmee. And it's actually one of the largest I've seen. First, let me go ahead and show you a couple of restaurants you can find within walking distance of the Clarion Inn. So first off, we got a Popeyes. Not leveling up much here though. We got a Fazoli's? I didn't even know these things still existed. Is this new or what? A Fazoli's. I wonder if this is, it looks new. It looks like they just remodeled it. This restaurant is no longer open. Please visit oh, so this used to be an Arby's. So they're reconfiguring this into a Fazoli's. Wow. Interesting. And we have an Olive Garden over here. So it looks like the options are improving. We're getting better. We're making progress. And last but not least, a CC's Pizza. Okay, I lied to you. We kind of took a step back there, but I do want to show you one more thing while we're here. It is actually, I don't know, maybe for the locals, it's not a hidden restaurant, not a hidden gem, but for tourists, this place may not pop up in your radar. And that is my friend over here. Let me go ahead and take a quick, hey, don't be hating on CC's Pizza now, man. I had a lot of childhood memories here. And this hidden gem I'm talking about is King O Falafel. King Falafel? King O Falafel. Whatever, it is good food, Mediterranean cuisine. The prices aren't too cheap, but they're not expensive either. But if you want to try some good, if you're staying in this area right off 192 and you want to try some delicious Mediterranean style cuisine, Middle Eastern cuisine, come to this place. You're not going to regret it at all. So I do want to turn around now because I think anything beyond this point is really past the point of walking within reason. You're going to want to take your car and drive anything past King O Falafel. You do have across the street, you have Star Island. I know they do some weird, crazy karaoke stuff, and you know, they do some fun things over there. I'm not sure if you can get in without staying at the resort or not. I don't know. Maybe I need to check that out next. But I'm going to head back to the hotel. I do want to talk about a couple things. I did not know this hotel existed. Or I kind of knew it existed, but I didn't know its location until I actually looked it up. Driving off the street, I can tell you how many countless of times I've driven on this road past this location. Hundreds of times. And I didn't know Clarion was there. Unless it was something before, not too long ago. I didn't see the sign off the road. I thought it was located somewhere else on 182, but not here. So it is really probably sat in a really inconspicuous location, hidden from the view of the road. So it might be a little difficult for you to find initially, unless you use GPS. I think you'll be able to find it easily, because they do have this kind of separate road that leads to all these different restaurants and attractions and stores that I just showed you now. The sign for the Clarion Inn, along with a lot of these other signs for the restaurants, are set back from the actual highway. So that's one thing you have to really think about when you're driving and you're trying to find these restaurants, is the signs are not going to be right off 182. They're going to be set back on this road here. So I'm going to head back to the hotel, go ahead and check out, because we're starting to get near 11 o'clock in the morning, and I know checkout time is at 11 o'clock. Overall, my impressions of the Clarion, I think the room that I got was probably one of their better rooms. It smelled good. It didn't smell bad at all. The other Clarion Inn didn't smell horrible, but it smelled worse than this one. And another thing, I think it's kind of like the same situation as the Howard Johnson Hotel, where the actual property and the environment of the hotel is actually worse than the room itself. So that's where it really suffers. Especially, well, in my situation, in my particular hotel room, there may be other hotel rooms that are in disarray and way worse situations than I experienced in my particular room itself. So I can't speak for the rest of the property, but I can speak of the exterior. The pool didn't look too bad. I would say the surrounding environment, maintenance of the property, I think could really improve. And that's more of a choice hotel thing. You know, if they had the funds to really do it, then they should. It is an older property. It seems like it's something that was built back in the day. You know, it's one of those older exterior corridor type properties. And yeah, you know, with those, they're only going to do so much to them. You know, you could do a quick cleanup, you could do a quick paint job, you could do a quick renovation into the rooms, but overall you walk around, you just feel like it's an old hotel. And that's the situation with this one. Now, one thing I do have to say, the location is fantastic. I love this location. I just wish it was a better hotel that you could go back and enjoy. And walk around, you enjoy this nice, massive gift shop that has a bunch of probably rip-off Disney clothes, attire, and merchandise. But hey, it's there. And who cares? You gotta watch your step with this sidewalk. Falls right off. Here is another, this is going to be the side of the hotel that I am staying on. I really love the fact that they do enclose the pool. They try to do as much as they can to keep as much privacy as possible. With some of the other properties, the pools are very exposed, especially with the cheaper ones. So you're not going to get any exposure to the road. You're not really going to get much exposure to any other from the other rooms, except for maybe a few up there. But that's okay. You know, every hotel has those pool view rooms, and you know, that's just part of it. While we are here, we are going to take a stop at the Disney Gifts Outlet. Massive store. So let's see if they have anything that's worthwhile. So yeah, that was my quick walk around in the Disney Gifts Outlet store. Mostly just generic Disney stuff, but it's actually a good place if you want to shop for something that's a little bit cheaper, that, you know, they have the brand Disney, they represent Disney, and you know, you're really not looking to splurge. So good option there. I suggest check it out if you're in this area. So let's go over some of the amenities, and it's really a lot more vast than I thought it was going to be. You have the Wi-Fi, you have continental breakfast, hot breakfast, which I guess you get them both. I wasn't able to be there, unfortunately, so I couldn't tell you. A lounge bar, vending machines, an outdoor whirlpool hot tub, truck parking, fitness center. You got coffee machines, fax machines, and a bunch of other miscellaneous things. Now let's talk about how much I paid for this room. The price per night, I did get a discount. It came out to $42.18 with taxes and fees of $9.79. So that came out to $51.97. But they of course had to add on a property fee of $10 and also additional taxes and fees on top of that of $1.30 basically. And that came out to a total cost of $63.97. I'm not saying this is the worst room I've ever had. It's definitely not the best at this price point, but I am going to just tell you this. Go ahead and book at your own discretion. Well, that's the end of the review. And you might notice I'm not on camera for this closing, and that's because I completely forgot to film a proper outro while I was on site. Why? Because I didn't just walk past the generic Disney outlet store. I actually walked in. Somewhere between the deeply discounted ear hats and questionable Pluto stress balls, I completely forgot I had one job to do. So since my organizational skills have failed me so spectacularly, please do the adult thing unlike what I did, and hit that like and subscribe for content that is hopefully less chaotic. And please comment below with the next resort or hotel you want me to critique. I need a good distraction that doesn't involve vaguely copyrighted merchandise. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Let's carry on.